to be this very way. What is that feeling I get from it? Nothing. But this face and this hair and this body and this mind and just these dreams. Nothing else. Who is responsible for this is what I want to know, because there's something wrong with my brain, and it's been like this for many, many, many years. And it's your responsibility to figure that out. It's your responsibility to figure the fuck it out, because nobody likes you the way that you are. Nobody likes you the way that you are. So that's why you hate everyone. And that's why you hate yourself, because you don't like anybody to be any other way than the way that you want to see them. And when they don't meet your approval and your standards, you write a little cross and you cross them out of your life. You make them feel like they don't deserve to live on this planet. Well, you're right. That's what is the most interesting thing about you. You're right. And you know it. You're not just anybody. You have a huge ego, but everybody has a huge ego. That don't matter. What matters is what's in here. This little heart thing. So while the world is revolving to suit the needs of the people, you're like, they shouldn't matter, because why should I give a fuck about anyone else if they don't meet my standards? They don't meet my approval, and if they don't look like a, Russian slave, Russian sex slave or whatever, you just write them off and say that they're trash. Well, I don't think that's very fond of you, of what other people think. Even though you think that the world should just be the way that you think it should be like, well, you don't even have that much of a good idea as to how you think it should be. So who's gonna take you seriously? Nobody. So nobody likes you then, and you don't like yourself. So I suggest that you find someone who agrees with you and and expands your mind and makes you think like, okay, I'm right, finally, because this individual suspects that I'm right. So therefore, I should just kill the entire human race, and the population will all be gone because finally stupid little Miss Alex has her head on straight for once in her lifetime. No, apparently not, because nobody seems to agree with me. So I'll just go on trying to find that one person that agrees with me and suggest that maybe life really is better than the population makes it out to be, and then they end up blaming their problems on the government and on the institutions and the president, and they blame everybody else, when really this is a spiritual problem and there should be a spiritual solution, and it should look like $1 million. It shouldn't look like a homeless person on the streets. So that is why I don't even feel like, lying to my own heart when I'm living with it right now in my own very body. Yes, that is the term. That is the word, the body, and I don't understand the body. That's why the body doesn't understand me. And I'm here living with a bunch of other bodies that I don't really know anything about. And why should I fucking care about their bodies if I'm living in my body? And I'm not even really sure what it is that we're supposed to do in these bodies for so long. It's like, truly, it's very entertaining for me to try to figure it out, because surely I'm not going to think a dog is going to understand my body, and people think that the dogs will, so they go and they buy dogs and they stick them in the backyard, and they feel like, well, maybe the dog will understand my body and we can exchange bodily presences and the auras, and we can talk to each other and feed each other and things like that, and then all of a sudden life is brand new again and it's all good, and now I understand my body because my dog understands my body, and I trust my dog because my dog is just like me, because apparently that's what everybody else thinks. That's why everybody else buys dogs and puts them in the backyard, and it doesn't make any sense to me, because dogs are, completely irrelevant to the human, but the human thinks that they're not. The human actually believes that the dog is superior in some way that I honestly can't imagine why. I mean, the thing is completely, reactivity. They react to everything in the most dumb ways, and they make everybody dumber. And it's a very silly world we live in, very silly. And yet we get jealous of each other over the dumbest things for the dumbest reasons, and then we create war on the planet. over a silly concept of jealousy. Oh my god, and there's this pen stuck in my hair now. Is anybody jealous of that? Then maybe they should take it out of my hair. But nobody thinks of doing the obvious. They just live with themselves and they blame everything on the government and the institutions. And sometimes they blame hair, believe it or not. And then they wonder why they're at the hairstylist getting their hair done. And then they're feeding the very same institutions that they blamed in the first place. And this is a circular problem. The only solution I can really come up with is completely superficial. And you wonder why we live in a world where people are jealous of each other. Jealous of the dumbest things, and they do the dumbest things to try to solve the problem. And the problem is never solved, it just continues. On and on and on and on. Well, I can just say that I'm glad. I am very glad that I'm able to discover these things, because cynicism isn't always a bad thing. In fact, cynicism is almost the solution to the problem of optimism, because optimism always leads to cynicism eventually once they understand that optimism is in fact wrong, because it is proved wrong by the correctness of, cynicism. And this is why I, don't trust people. And honestly, I don't believe that anything would ever change my mind regarding optimism versus feminism, and regarding me never being truly happy, because there is nothing in the world that has proven to me to allow me to gain happiness in a world where everybody doesn't understand the term and uses it in ways that are not appropriate, and then they go on blaming. It's very silly, and I can't even look at myself in the mirror sometimes, because I just wonder what it is that a person like me would ever get out of life, when everybody is so scandalous and disapproving, and yet they have no proof. They have only emotional outbursts and no patience whatsoever. Absolutely no patience. So, anyways, I'm just thankful that I have hair on my head, and I actually have somewhat of a breasts, even though you can't see them because I'm not going to take my shirt off, but I have a little bit. And other than that, I would say that I'm probably trash. I don't like to think of it like that, because the only reason why I think of myself as trash is because I've made so many mistakes in my life, of which I don't regret, in fact, because the biggest mistake I ever made was fill in the blank. And that's about it for today, and this is my second video, and maybe I'll try a different accent tomorrow. The English one happens to be something I'm better at than, you know. Who am I trying to impress though? I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm really not. It may seem like that I am trying to impress somebody, but I'm really just trying to impress myself, because nobody else is impressionable. Impressionable because that would imply that I was trying to get something out of that person, which I'm not trying to get anything out of anybody. Therefore, I'm only trying to impress myself, which will lead to more dislikes on my videos, which I don't give a fuck about anyways. I'm uploading them because nobody can prove me wrong. And so they can go on living their lives and blaming people for their problems, because they don't understand what it means to live in a body that doesn't like them. That's all I have to say. Please take people like myself out of their misery, because they have to deal with scumbags like you and all of your scumbag sisters and brothers who we don't give a fuck about. So just put us out of our goddamn misery, because we don't like you. We do not like you. We fucking can't stand you. So the street, the cross sections do not meet in harmony, they meet in disagreements, and I can't stand motherfuckers fucking up my life for no reason, because I don't like them in the first place. I motherfucking can't stand them. And I hate being introverted. I absolutely loathe it. I hate it, but it comes with its perks, and one of them is trying to find the answers that I'm searching for that do not come in words and communication verbally, because I make myself sick trying to understand why my fucking boyfriend Dino has to make me feel this way. Why Dino? Dill. The Dino with the dill. Why would you name your son Dino? Why would you name your son Dino and then have a last name Dill and prescribe him to a certain body and make him have this personality and make him get together with someone like me and cause us continual distractions, lost souls in the universe, and all I have to show for it is a nice looking face and a sick heart, a sick soul, because of my idealistic mentality that I suffer with. My idealistic mentality that I suffer with, and nobody seems to suffer the same idealistic mentality that I suffer. Living with it is a bore. Living with it is a bore, but it's the only thing that is worth living for. Tell me what is worth living for that is not idealistic or superficial to a degree, and you know, what is it more than that? Tell me, because not even that is fulfilling. So must I just end up in a black hole. Perhaps I will. Maybe I will be with you in that black hole. That would be better than this. That would be better than... Maybe it would be better than my idealistic scenario, because even in there would be some bit of darkness, and I don't like darkness. So I don't know, I feel very mentally ill right now and unstable, so I shall go and live my life, but I just felt the need to make another video for today, and I'm not embarrassed by it. I will continue to make videos, trust me, they will not be unmade, I will continue them. And each time that I do, I will not be waiting on viewers, I will just be making them because I want people to know that there is actual real life in the world and I'm actually alive, as it were. And so I should be doing something with this life, and what is following my heart is to do this. And most people would not agree with it, but they don't know me, and they don't, even if they did, I would probably rebel anyways, because I'm a rebellious sort. I'm a rebellious sort. So all in all, there we go. I'm leaking more useless information. I might as well go on to be a dragon or an animal of some sort or something, because Dill or whatever my boyfriend can't, do anything for shit. He can't do anything. He's just a useless human being, and he makes me feel exactly the same way. And this is the trouble that I've dealt with for so long, and I've been trying to overcome it, and once I try to overcome it, this fear comes back. Fear. Once I try to overcome something, and just a never-ending cycle. I keep thinking I need to pick up a new hobby or a new habit, but that would just lead to restlessness and no peace of mind. So if you would disagree with me and say I'm not doing the right thing, then you are in fact wrong, and I'm living a lot better than a lot of people would have it, and yet I get more stress because of it, because of this elitist framework, elitist mentality that pushes itself to understand deeper meanings of life and not have to deal with the issue of race and the issues of friendship and lovers and things like that, which are useless in the world we live in today, and everybody knows it. And blah 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 blah. I'm done talking.